Times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Scrapper Nana Pierce, and you're watching WGS-TV.
You have warped your way into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Bully Bujo. This is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of April 6th, 2015. I know a lot of things have happened between the last week and this week, guys and gals, and I know one of the big things that everybody's been talking about, the retirement of AJ Lee. I want to say right off the bat, when you lose a diva who is in the prime of her career, as AJ was, and as good as AJ was, it's really a huge blow to the Divas division of the WWE, because AJ contributed so much to that division and made that division good again, and losing her just like that, it's going to take some getting used to, guys and gals. I know a lot of people out there are going to miss her, especially I know the incomparable Lance Moss, who loved watching her, hashtag that ass. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to move on from that and talk about Monday Night Raw for this week. Now, when we open up with Seth Rollins and the Authority, just kind of talking about WrestleMania and everything that went positive about WrestleMania and things that weren't really positive for Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton would then come out and start demanding a title shot. Now, I was under the assumption from what we saw on SmackDown that we already established that Randy Orton was going to be the number one contender. And apparently we haven't. So Kane, with the Authority, with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon not being there this week, would make a match, a triple threat match. Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Ryback. And the winner of that triple threat match would then become the number one contender. But each person in that triple threat match would also have another match during the night. First off, it would be Kane and Randy Orton. This would be kind of semi-quick in a sense. Kane would resort to using a steel chair on Orton. You would get disqualified. Then he had intent on doing more damage to the Viper, but Randy Orton would counter it, tried to RKO Kane on the chair, but Kane was able to duck out of there and get to safety. Now, backstage, Kane was just kind of convalescing in the office back there. Seth Rollins starts reading him the riot act about the triple threat match, and then Kane would then put Seth Rollins in a match, and guys, it was against Adrian Neville. And I gotta say, hands down, best match of the night. Because how freaking epic was it to see Neville and Rollins in the same match? I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is my personal plea to the WWE. We want more of this. We want more of this. We want more of Rollins and Neville. Knowing how great that match is, we need more like that. And this is why NXT is by far the saving grace of the WWE based on this match alone. And that crowd reaction. And the fact that they were chanting NXT. I hope Vince McMahon realize that NXT is not a detriment, but actually an improvement to their product. Rollins would end up hitting the curb stomp on Neville to pick up the win. Now, John Cena would still do the United States Championship Open Challenge, despite the fact that Rusev will be invoking his rematch clause at Extreme Rules. And now, knowing that, I was under the impression, regardless of the fact that Sinister Stardust would be the one to step up, would interfere in this match, but I was wrong. And yes, guys and gals, your old friend, the WrestleGamer, is human. He's bound to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Now, I'm glad to see Cena kind of really implementing that springboard stunner, that jumping stunner, into his move set. He seems to be pulling it off really well, and we first saw that at WrestleMania. He did it again in his match with Stardust, and I really like it. I think it's a good move to put into his moveset. Cena would hit the AA on Stardust to pick up the win and retain the United States Championship, and I like this idea of the title being defended every week. I love that idea because it really starts to make the United States Championship more legitimate. And that's something I really would like to see, because there are secondary titles that used to be really important titles, like especially the United States title when it was in WCW, and the Intercontinental Championship, I think really need to be brought back up to the forefront and need to start being more legitimate in the wrestling industry. And I like the idea of the United States Championship being defended every week. To me, that makes a title legitimate. And the fact that they have it on such a big name like John Cena can only make that title better and better. And I couldn't care less of what other people have to say about John Cena. They cannot dispute the fact that John Cena, being as big a name as he is in the WWE, putting the United States Championship on him was not only best for business, but it was also the best move to help make the United States Championship legitimate again. That was a brilliant move by WWE. Anyway, needless to remind everyone that everything said on here is my opinion. Okay? I'm not stating fact, I am stating opinions. Yet some people out there don't seem to recognize the difference between fact and opinion. But I'm just saying. Anyway, guys and gals, the Bella Twins would take on Naomi and Paige next. And you kind of get the feeling now with the departure of AJ Lee from the WWE that somebody would have to be pushed now, especially for a run at the Divas Championship. And from the way that they've been working the past 2 weeks with Naomi and Paige and the Bella Twins, and Naomi scoring 2 pinfall victories over Nikki Bella, that Naomi would be the one to be properly pushed. Now, can they push her and have her be in the spot AJ left? I don't know. I don't know if Naomi can actually fill the shoes of AJ Lee. They can try, but nobody can ever equal what AJ Lee has done for the Divas in the WWE. Now, before Monday Night Raw, yours truly, the Wrestle Gamer, made a guest appearance on the best damn sports show in radio on Blog Talk Radio. And in fact, I'll put a link to that show in the description box and in the annotations of this video, so you guys can actually check it out, and be sure you follow them on Blog Talk Radio, especially Mike on there. He invited me to come on the show before Monday Night Raw, and I did, and it was a great experience, and I want you guys to check them out. And one of the things we did talk about is what the primetime players did first on Thursday Night SmackDown. Everyone was under the impression that they were going to start an angle between the players and the New Day. But I think that was just kind of thrown in the wind now that we saw the primetime players mock the Ascension. And I gotta say, and I said it on their show, I'm going to say it on here. For one thing, I'm glad that they're back together. And two, they're very entertaining to watch. Very, very entertaining to watch. And I'm glad that they're working together again. I really am. Because they're doing a lot of vignettes, and I want to see which team they mock next. Probably maybe the Lucha Dragons, maybe the Usos, maybe even Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Who knows? And I think probably just named everyone in the Los Matadores, and I think I probably must just mentioned everybody in the tag team division on the main roster. Kind of shows you how diversified their tag team division really is in the WWE. Anyway, following that, we would have Ryback and Luke Harper. Short and sweet, Ryback hits the shell shock on Luke Harper, picks up the win. And now, following that, one question I posed on Facebook, especially on the Facebook page last night, was, are we seeing signs now of the New Day turning heel? I mean, the fans have already started to turn on them, saying that New Day sucks. And kind of saw some glimpses and glimmers of it in this match. You know, maybe it's just your pal, the Wrestle Gamer, maybe just seeing things. I don't know if you guys saw it the way I saw it, but there were like glimmers of heel turn in the works for the New Day. Maybe. And how can they possibly take what a positive gimmick, from the way it looks like they're always positive, they're always happy in the New Day. And they even said it in a promo backstage that if they don't clap, they snap. So maybe they're on the verge of snapping. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I'm seeing it. But they took on the Lucha Dragons and correct me if I'm wrong, guys and gals, but weren't they partners last week? I think they were. I think they were in an 8-man tag match. Anyway, Sin Cara would pick up the win for the tag team with the senton bomb on Xavier Woods. Following that, Big Show and Roman Reigns. One crowd one week loves Roman Reigns, the next crowd hates him, the next crowd loves him. Fans are just so unbelievably finicky. Is unbelievably a word? Me being a commentator, I should learn to talk better. Anyway, it was just Roman Reigns. They hit 2 Superman punches on Big Show. He didn't go down. Went for a third. Big Show grabbed him by the neck for the choke slam. Roman Reigns would fight out of that. Reigns would end up hitting the spear on the Big Show. Roman Reigns is your winner. Now, when it comes to Sheamus and this gimmick, I'm with it still kind of being a week into the new heel persona of Sheamus. I think he kind of invites the fans to chant "You look stupid" to him. And it kind of fits, because now he has a reason to hate the crowd. Excuse me. And Sheamus the Bully. Well, I'm not really going to judge it just yet, since, like I said, it's only been a week since the heel turn, since the new gimmick. So I want to give it some more time before I can actually officially judge whether or not this was a smart move by WWE. Now, can Sheamus pull off being a heel? Yes, we've seen it in the past. We know Sheamus can be a heel. Can he be a heel with this new Mohawk-y style gimmick? You know, that kind of resembles Sheamus as a reject of the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome movie gimmick. Maybe. Only time can tell. Because this new gimmick is kind of in its infancy, if you kind of get what I'm saying, guys and gals. And with it only being with it being the start of the gimmick, it's not really fair to judge whether or not this was a good gimmick, a good turn for WWE, especially for Sheamus, who took on Mark Henry and would end up hitting the bro kick on Mark Henry to pick up the win. Only time can tell. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that a heel turn for Sheamus was something that was needed and something that was good for the Celtic Warrior? Anyway, the matchup that a lot of people have been wanting to see, Miz and Mizdow. Now, was I shocked to see a dirty finish? No, I kind of expected something like that to go down, with Miz schoolballing Mizdow and holding the tights to pick up the win. Now, is this the end of the feud? You bet your sweet Bippy it's not. Now, what could they do? Could they do something at Extreme Rules? I would love to see something at Extreme Rules between Miz and Mizdow. I really would like to see something like that. And finally, the triple threat match. Okay. How can people not see Randy Orton coming out the winner of this one? Especially when we were already under the assumption that, pardon me, that Randy Orton was already the #1 contender. Especially from SmackDown. I mean, come on, WWE. They couldn't be more blatantly obvious with what they were doing. And with the way that the storyline and the way that the angles were going, it had to be Randy Orton to be the #1 contender. I mean, Roman Reigns had a match at WrestleMania. Ryback, I don't know what the hell they're doing with him. Even though he's better off as a face, Randy Orton is the most logical choice. And again, that's just my opinion. Speaking of that, overall score on Monday Night Raw this week, it's going to get a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a decent show. I'm not going to say it was an overall spectacular show, but it wasn't that bad of a show that some people out there are making it out to be. Best match of the night, you already heard me say it, Seth Rollins, Adrian Neville. Because that is something we need to see on the main roster. More matches like that to improve your overall product. And something like Seth Rollins and Adrian Neville, proof, ladies and gentlemen, proof that NXT is indeed the saving grace of WWE. Look at the two turnouts from NXT, Seth Rollins and Adrian Neville, and look what they did on Monday Night Raw. And when you look at that, how can you not tell me that NXT is the saving grace of the WWE, and how freaking epic it was to see something like that? You can't dispute that fact. You cannot. Now, worst match of the night, I was expecting more out of Miz and Mizdow. I wanted to see something more on their first one-on-one encounter, and needless to say, I was disappointed. Now, I wasn't shocked to see a dirty finish, but I was hoping to see more, and 5 minutes around that time was just not enough for me. But maybe because it's just the real start of the feud between Miz and Mizdow. Maybe. Because maybe I'm just going about it the wrong way. Anyway, guys and gals, that's been my opinion on Monday Night Raw. What I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? I definitely want to know what you guys out there have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. WGS-TV is on social media, Facebook at facebook.com/WGS-TV, on Twitter at The WrestleGamer, and Instagram at The WrestleGamer. Be sure you check us out on social media. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer for more content like this and all of my Let's Plays, which can be checked out in the annotations at the end of this video, and the links to them will be in the description box below. So with that being said, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone.
Really good question in my head. Shit. Wait, got it. Would you consider yourself
Back up, Necromorph! Who wants candy? Fuck off!